opportunity be knocking. Let motherfucker in.
So, I've had some Glengoyne. I drank some. I drank that much. Here's to the Lord. To Jesus. Jesus Christ. Passion of the Christ, right? So, the movie starts off. Jesus, who's played by a white guy. You think Jesus would look a little bit more Middle Eastern, but it's played by a white guy. He's hanging out in the woods with his buddies, his pals, his disciples, Peter and some other guy who's missing. It's Judas. So he's given up Jesus to these guys who don't like Jesus, and they're like, "You say you're the Son of God? That's a real dick thing to say because we don't believe that. So stop saying that. We're gonna fucking kill you." Jesus gets caught because Judas sells his whereabouts for $30. They were like 30 silver pieces. Judas fucking turns Jesus in. He's like, he's in the fucking woods, man. And they all go after him before they get to Jesus. Jesus sort of hobbles off to himself, and he starts praying to God. He's like, "Dad, and do I really have to go through this shit? Come on." "Yeah, you gotta do it, man. It's for their sins and shit, so let's get this over with, alright?" Jesus gets taken by these Jewish dudes, all wearing these big robes. Look like medieval pimps. And they're like, "Ah, it's Jesus, take him!" So Jesus is taken away. He's taken to a big crowd of people. Like, "Hey, have you been saying that you're a son of God and shit? Is that what they're telling me is true?" Yeah. They beat up Jesus some more, and they take him to the Roman people, the Romans that are the ruling class. "We need your authority to kill this man." Well, what do you do? Oh, he's talking a bunch of crazy shit about how he's the Son of God. "I gotta fucking kill him." "You better fucking kill him. It's gonna get crazy. You guys are obviously pissed, so to stop an uproar, I'll have him beaten severely." But he's not getting killed. So they take Jesus away. They strip him down, and they start wailing on him with sticks. They go and they grab these like flails, like it's a bunch of leather pieces that are attached to there's like razors on the end of shoestrings, and they're just whipping him around like crazy. And it's tearing his flesh off, and you can see his ribs, like his actual ribs. It's a gruesome scene. And by the end, there's just like a big cloud, puddle of blood. Like the Blue Man Group came in and just started splattering blood everywhere. So they take him from there, give him a big thorny crown, and they squeeze all the thorns into his head. They spit on him and slap him, and just treat him like shit. So yeah, walk him up to the Roman Czar, and the Jewish guys are still waiting down there. They're looking at him like, "Yeah, he looks pretty rough, but I don't know, man. This is some bullshit. You need to kill that motherfucker still." So he goes, "Alright, I have the ability to free one person from death. This guy right here," and he pulls out this dude who's like got a fucked up eye, cackling with no teeth. "This guy's a well-known serial killer. He's killed a bunch of people. He's a terrifying individual." "Okay, so what you guys gonna pardon?" They're just like, "Oh, the murderer, the terrifying guy right there. Put him back into society." Fucking let loose the murderer. "Alright, what do you guys want us to do? You guys obviously want this motherfucker dead. What do you want us to do?" "Crucify that motherfucker. Crucifixion." So he's like, "Wash my hands of it, motherfucker." They're making him carry this big fucking T-shaped cross. Struggling to carry this thing anywhere. This is where I started getting mad. In this movie, there is about, I would say, an average of 8 or 10 instances in which Jesus is carrying this big fucking hunk of wood, and in slow motion just goes, "Oh," and falls on the ground. Oh! Like 8 or 10 times in this movie. If you were gonna make a movie about, Christ, you think you want there to be maybe like a 20-minute climax that is the crucifixion scene. Mel Gibson was like, fuck that. I'm gonna make that 20 minutes 2.5 hours. My beef isn't even that he's collapsing a bunch of times. He's collapsing a bunch of times in slow motion each time. It's like, well, you didn't think we got it the first 4 times, Mel, that he's tired? We got that. This guy helps Jesus get this cross up to the top of the mountain in Jerusalem. And the guys lay Jesus down and they start hammering in the fucking nail, man. And he's like, like he's been making the same noise for almost the entirety of the film. They hammer the first nail, dislocate his shoulder. Just realistically speaking, any human being who's been through this much pain has been dead for at least 2 hours at this point in time. He didn't suffer enough, so his knees are kind of bent. And they hammer one nail through both of his feet, and then they hammer the nails down on the backside so you can't pull them out. Which is stupid because they pull them out later. Jesus gets put up on this cross. If you're the Son of God, prove you're the Son of God, man. Pull them nails out. And finally, Jesus just goes, well, fuck it. I guess it's good. His mom goes up to try to get him down, and the Romans stop her because they've been sitting there the whole time watching this shit. That's something else. There's a whole crowd gathered for the majority of the time watching this. So the Romans, before they take him down, they want to make sure he's dead, so they poke their spear into his stomach. Like a sprinkler. He gets the guards, they're like, fuck. Gets the mom, she's like, no, it's, They take him down, and the people have left because after Jesus died, inexplicably, a storm started to brewing. After Jesus dies, his mom's cradling him in her arms, and then it fades up. Jesus' body wrapped up in a big cloth, like a big bed sheet. The body just kind of deflates and just... Guess who trots into frame? It's Jesus, and he's naked. At that moment, I thought, maybe this movie has a chance to be kind of cool. Jesus is gonna put on a pair of sunglasses in slow motion and look at the camera, and then all of a sudden, X Gonna Give It To You is gonna start playing, and it's just gonna be Jesus giving the wrath to people. But no. Jesus kind of just stands in the light, and he's no longer a piece of, like a bad piece of steak, and he just kind of goes, here we go again, and he starts to walk out, and the last image you see is of his hand, and there's a hole through it, and that's what the movie is. There's this one part where Jesus is like hanging out with all of his disciples, and he's like, hey guys, you hungry? He pulls out this like loaf of bread that he just made. It's like still steaming. This is me. Eat me. Do what? And then they try it.
Opportunity be knocking. You gotta let a motherfucker in. I kiss my mother on the cheek, tell her that I love her. You ain't gotta worry about a thing, I got it covered.